car racing isn't like ball sports. There's hardly any practice. Best case scenario is that you go from driving a 30 horsepower go-kart to a 900 horsepower sprint car. And a sprint car is probably the most insane car that you could ever drive. Trust me, I know how tough it is as a teenager to try and prove yourself. There's a fine balance between being fast and tearing up a lot of shit. That's why I'm really impressed with how fast kids like Jy Corbet are. He's only 17. Sometimes he wrecks.
Oh, this is gonna be big! Massive crash at the end of the front straightaway.
And sometimes he's really fast. And either way, I know he's just trying to prove himself. And that's why tonight I'm really excited to see what he can dish up.
Young. I suppose when you get up against these big guys, you do forget that they're a lot more experienced than what you are, so it does make it a bit more difficult to try and keep up, because I suppose they've got years of experience and I've only got maybe one and a bit, so yeah, it does make it tough.
Your crew chief is former Australian champion Andrew Shirley. That must be pretty helpful.
Yeah, no, he definitely has a lot of knowledge behind him. He's been doing it for a few years, so yeah. Got to trust him, I suppose. He does do a really good job. Him and Gary, and all the boys, they do just an amazing job. Every time I go out, I'm just super confident, just knowing what the car can do.
What does Andrew speak to you about?
Just controlling the car. Like, we discuss setups a lot, and just what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right and what works for us. But just how to drive sometimes. It helps out a lot, because we're in a sport where you don't really have anyone to ask. You can't really train to get better. So if you have a driver that's been doing it for a long time, they can sort of relate to what you're talking about. So it does make it a lot easier.
I know when I was racing, it was really difficult to get your head right, not just drive right, but be in the right frame of mind. Does Andrew help with that sort of stuff? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to take on board every time you go out. So just keeping that at the back of your mind it's a big one.
Alright, it's time for the sprint cars to hit the track with Jy Corbet tonight, obviously. He ran third last week at Archerfield to Luke Oldfield. That's one guy he's going to have to run with. You've also got guys like Lockie McHugh, who's due for a win here, and you've also got Cody Morosky, who won last time out here. Jy's out early for qualifying. Let's hope he can make the most of it.
Yeah, make sure when you're throwing around, you find a good car to line up behind.
Taken off straight enough. Yeah. Would have been done.
You just look like you were hanging a bit and coming off over there. Yeah. We put a new right rear on it, and we're just going to get the left rear out just a little bit to get it straighter off the corner. We'll leave the stagger on it, but just move it out a little bit to get it straighter. Don't forget to pin it. I can't see, but is there any more? Can you diamond it off the top and hit the moisture like you do over there, or not really? What do you think? Well, you've done it before, so whether you roll one lap on the top and then roll one lap and take it across the bottom, run the top here and diamond it off. You know what you're doing, just go out there and run it.
To get us underway in the NQ10 is Jy Corbet. On the cushion through 3 and 4, 11-1, 25.
Impressive start from Jy Corbet. What's it? 11.1.
Just was like coming off, bouncing. But like it's just so grippy on the exit, it's just where it catches. But through here, it's just you hold it.
He's pointed it out, sort of getting that, then it come more straight.
A little bit, I just grabbed the brake just to try and keep it.
Did that stop it?
Yeah, just.
Your quick time winner tonight as he walks up to victory lane. Put your hands together for Jy Corbet. Well done, brother. You get a quick time cap, which is always nice. You drew the 1 pill.
And go quickest. Good job.
Good on you, mate. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Jy Corbet.
Got a bit worried there for a sec.
Why?
Oh, the time's got a bit close, but
Yeah.
all the points will be close now, so it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Ah, good job.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Good start to the night. He went out first in qualifying and he got quick time. So I've done that before and not won a feature race. So he's definitely just got to keep a lid on things. They're pretty happy with how the car handles. He's a little bit worried that maybe he might get hit there, but he held on. I think second quick was Lockie McHugh and third quick was Luke Oldfield. So good start to the night. Let's see what happens in the heat race.
Mate, Oz got a big gap up here, mate.
You can't let him get in front of you. You've got to make sure that you set the pace. Don't let him start you right. You've got to start. And just don't forget your kids.
Corbett gets a cracker, but Newton settles up on the high side. Remember, top 2 cars transfer to the A-dash. Top 5 cars make the feature race. Corbett home in second and will qualify for the A-dash.
How do you like working with Jy?
Good mate, he's a good young kid, he listens and got a lot to learn, but he's only young mate, he's 17, so you know, the bit of racing he's done, he really hasn't raced that much outside the sprint car. He's done a little bit in junior 500s and just what I see he can do on the racetrack, I just think he's got heaps of potential, and if he wants it bad enough, I think he'd be as good as anyone in Australia down the track. You know, I just sort of, I guess, driver, mentor him, crew chief him type thing, look after the shocks and that. I'm fortunate enough Gaz from my old crew could come with me when we started to work for these guys, so it's nice to have him here because I can bounce things off Gary, because Gary knows sort of what I like when I was racing. So and between the two of us, we sort of put the race car together, and they've got a good group of guys, but just not a lot of knowledge. So I guess that's where Gary and I fit in type thing. We can bring that knowledge that we've got for the last 27 years to the team, and it all sort of seems to work and gel. They're a good bunch of guys.
Obviously he's a young kid and you need to help him with his racecraft and setup, but also the mental side.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I guess that's part of my role as mentoring him. He's, you know, just like I said to him out there in that heat race there, we just ran second and he got the start, but he got to the middle of the racetrack and let the other guy get around the outside of him. And I said, mate, if that happens, don't lose your marbles, you know what I mean? We went quick time, let's just run second if we have to in the heat race and finish the heat race. And he did it, you know, he listened and did what we had to do. So he's, but that's just what he's got to learn, you know. You know what it's like. You just got to stay focused, and it's not always going to work out how you want it to be. So you need to be able to, you know, stay calm and work out what you've got to do inside the race car and move on and not dwell on it.
What's the plan for the dash in the future?
Mate, he's just up checking. I don't even know where we're starting yet, so hopefully we'll be up the front somewhere in that. We haven't changed the race car that much. The track hasn't changed too much at the moment. It's still around the top, so Luke looked pretty good on the bottom just then, actually, on the last heat race, but we'll just see where we're going to start and maybe just tighten it up a little bit more and just keep sneaking up on it as the track comes in type thing, and the track slickens up and goes away. We'll just keep tuning the race car up and just tighten it up a little bit more. But no, to be honest, mate, we don't do a lot of massive changes. You know, if we sort of got a good base now that we've only got to just make a few shock changes, a little bit of stagger, and you know, and just keep doing that through the night, and we don't really have to make any wholesale changes.
Do you feel like with him being so inexperienced that you need to make an effort to really try and just keep the car the same each time?
I think it helps him. Yeah, I think it helps him, and you just got to mould him, I guess, to just teach him what's got to happen, because like I say, he when things don't go right, you can see when the driver gets flustered because he starts making mistakes, and that's where you've actually got to probably sometimes slow yourself down to go fast again type thing. So, and that's just what he's got to learn, and he does a good job. Every time he goes on the track, he learns something new.
Cars pushing out right now. Jy's out of position number 4. There's only 6 cars that are in the A-dash. You've got the top 3 cars are all the first place finishes from the heats, and the 4 to 6 in the dash is the second place finishes, lined up all from qualifying time. So that's why Jy's out of 4. Needs to try and stay there, at least not lose any positions, hopefully move forward. If we can start off the front row, that'd be a massive boost for this feature race. Let's see if we can do it.
Atkinson, ripper start on the bottom, contact with Newton. P4, Jy Corbet, big move to the inside of Benny Jr. Jr. trying to fight back on the outside here, Ryan. McHugh wins, Corbett home in second.
So good, mate. Good work.
Too tight. Just modelling up big corners, sticking I can't really excuse.
I think once you got over that rut though, once you climbed that rut, it seems to be good.
You did a good job. That was good on the bottom there. You really controlled the pace there, and didn't get too excited on the throttle coming off. Like, you kept everything underneath you.
And then he slid me back, and I'm like, nah, I'm good with that. I'll start on the outside. I think it'll work.
Yeah, well, I'm on the outside and that's what he wants to shoot something.
Yeah, he'll probably start outside, so he'll start off the pole. Oh, like, I almost guarantee he will.
No, I just side to side. The bottom's actually
Yeah, I think there's enough on the bottom to get a good start. Be interesting. Track's good.
Looking at?
No, just putting the settings in, making some changes here in the setup sheets. They've gone all digital with the stuff, so we did everything on a laptop, so it just makes it easier to record everything.
Yeah.
Same with the dyno, like we've got all the recordings on the dyno and that, so we can go back and double check everything's right. And
are you testing them during the week or?
yeah, we'll do during the week and sometimes through the night. Like if he's, you know, had an accident, a heat race or whatever, we can dyno it up and sort it out there.
Yep.
The shocks is kind of, you know, one of the most important things on the race car. Like you would have seen the video show, we haven't really changed that much of the race car through the night. It's really just been a little bit of stagger and tuning it on the shocks. So, and that's why that dyno is so important now, to be able to, you just need to know where you are all the time with the shock settings.
Yeah.
And we'll just give it a bit of a tune up on the shocks and let him go and do his thing.
Hopefully make the right changes.
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit of a guessing game for everyone, really. So, main thing is Jy just keeps himself calm in the race. I just said to him, relax in that seat, mate, and
ride it out for the first 15 laps and see where you're at, and you know, just stay calm. If you lose a spot or two, you just got to stay calm and gather it back up and get into it again.
Feature time for the sprint cars. Jy is out of position number 2. He finished second in the dash, did an awesome job, awesome. But yeah, definitely got a lot of work to do over this feature race. I noticed his wing's pretty far forward, so he's always got that to pull back on for the feature race, so over the 30 laps. And also he's running a 92 left rear tyre, so he's got about 12-13 inches of stagger, you would say. I think that'll come in handy because the track's still pretty fast. So I think he's got a good setup. He's got former Australian Sprintcar champion Andrew Shirley that you would have seen helping him tonight. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he can do. Hopefully he can hold on for a podium finish. I think that would be a good result.
Once you hot lap up there a couple of laps, you'll be right to go type thing. Like, it'll be right to go before you start the race. But remember just to breathe and relax into the seat, because that's what wears you out. If you're not, because it sounds stupid, but when you start concentrating so hard, you forget to breathe, you know what I mean? And then you do too late, and then you don't wear yourself out. Just relax and go and enjoy it. Things don't pan out how you hope they would for the first 5 or 6 laps, take a chill pill and get yourself, you know, get back control of it and just start putting some neat laps in again and just drive your way back through it again. Don't overdrive it.
What drivers and teams are aiming for the end of the feature race is to start tight, and as the track slickens off, the car will loosen up a little bit, and you want to end up with the last 10 laps or so.
That's what guys are aiming to do tonight at the racetrack in the race.
Round number 3, the Queensland Speedway Spares is underway. Closing as it's cars upside down in 1 and 2. Corbet, big lift to the inside, Morofsky to the outside, what a battle for second. Pettis Jr. comes back, Ryan.
And Oldfield's in, we got a 4-way battle for second, third, fourth and fifth.
So we've got about 18 laps left in this feature race. Jy is currently second behind Lockie McHugh. I didn't think this race was going to be maybe all that flash, this feature race, but it has been really good. We saw Atkinson slide McHugh off a restart. We saw Jy go back to about 4th after battling with Morofsky. We got Luke Oldfield working his way back up. We're about to go green again with 18 laps left to go. There's a massive run over there, over in turns 1 and 2. Awesome feature race. Let's see what happens.
Saddle up. Who's this? Is going to be a cracker. With 15 to ride around the outside of Tony Randolph. Corbett goes with him. Corbett is not letting McHugh out of his sight, Ryan. Because look at this, we will go yellow just to save McHugh in the right time. And McHugh runs the top. Oldfield with a slide jump. Corbet gets a little bit unsettled. McHugh gets the win. Jy Corbet home in second with a ripping drive.
Well done, boy. That's it. Good work, man. Good job, brother. You did a freaking good job. Good job. How's the fitness, mate?
I can tell the last 10 laps.
I'll get it on the footage. You'll get it on the footage. Both my hands came off the wheel in the turn when it hit the big bump. Your hands just come flying up. Oh, that was bloody unreal. The track was crazy towards the last few laps, but yeah, just managed, I suppose. Held on. Really good.
Like Lockie maybe got away from you a little bit towards the end there. Did you feel like that yellow helped you out to help you get your breath? Or?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. No way I was going to catch him. I was just way too going. The track's just, hold on.
Pretty brutal there in 1 and 2 in the middle. There's a big rut there. I saw everyone hitting that. You had to be pretty cautious to...
Yeah, 1 and 2 was crazy, but yeah, 3 and 4, they're pretty even, but yeah, proper hard.
Jy, you drove the race of your life out there, mate.
We did everything we told you to do. Start over right the race, going to the light to show him. And, you know, he did everything we asked him to do tonight. Second.
Is Dad happy? Yeah, no, it was a really good night. Really good night. Yeah. He drove really well. I think he's starting to use his brain a bit more now, and yeah, so really good.
Good confidence booster.
Yeah, it was. I think this will do him the world of good now, and try and he's been getting some pretty good finishes now. So keep that going. It'll be really good.
You'll be racing next weekend at Archfield.
Yeah, Archfield next weekend, then a week off, then back to here. So yeah. Work out what we do with our southern calendar, what we're going to do, and go from there. So.
Longer he's on podiums, the more likely the southern calendar is looking, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but you know, I mean, we'll probably do a few away. Just got to work out what works with work and everyone else around us. So yeah, go from there. And
I guess with him being so young, you don't just want to take him everywhere so he can tear up as much stuff as possible. You want it to be worthwhile.
If it was up to him, we'd be going everywhere every weekend. But you know, like everyone's commitments with work and what have you. So try and pluck off the ones that we can. And so and this swing up here, we've been doing between Toowoomba and Brisbane's working pretty good for us, so if we keep doing that, it's good.
Seems to have a pretty good team set up with some older guys around him, some older heads, maybe not so experienced within the sport, but then you've got Andrew Shirley that comes in and kind of takes the reins a bit.
Yeah, look, it's so good, I mean, the dynamic with, all the guys, the older guys, and, Andrew and Gary and, Zane, the younger guys working on the cars, it's, it works so good. Everyone that comes out, we have a bit of fun for the night. Try and take the car home straight, it's the objective for the night, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But no, everyone gets along really good and it works really well.
That is our night done. It's pretty late here. It's about 10 past 11. A feature race finished probably about 40 minutes ago, but I thought we'd finish off by being out on the track. You would have seen, if you watched on pay-per-view, in the Sprintcar Hub Tech Centre, that these divots in the track are everywhere. This one I didn't even notice. I know there's some over there that I didn't pick up, but I was pretty glued over here how shiny the track is. It's actually quite black and hard. It's really hard, meaning it's quite slick. These ruts and that, they really unsettle the car. So you got this slick track where the car wants to slide around, but then when you got these huge divots and ruts in the track, I'm not sure if that really shows up well on camera, but these are massive ruts that, you just stay there. When a car slides all the way up from, say, here and doesn't run in on the cushion, their right rear or their right front is hitting this and it's like settling the car. And we watched that happen a bunch of times throughout the feature race. So I thought that was super interesting. Something I didn't really see happening until later on. Probably the biggest one just over there where I saw cars really getting thrown around and lots of passing opportunities and stuff because of all that. When you're carrying the crazy speeds that they are, this stuff adds up. And we saw even the winner, Lockie McHugh, he was dealing with that, especially with lap traffic being in your way. You got to get off the gas. In sprint cars, you drive the car so much with the throttle, and having those rear wheels spinning kind of helps when you come up to these ruts. To have the rear wheel spinning helps you to slide through here and kind of smooth it over. But if you got a lap car that slides up in front of you, you're getting off the gas, you're getting all tight, understeering, rolling over onto the right rear. It's really unsettling the car and ruining all your momentum. And as we've spoken about before, sprint car racing is all about momentum. So I was super impressed with what Jy Corbet did tonight. He's only 17 years of age, so he's only had not even 2 years of sprint car racing. They haven't travelled a hell of a lot. But to drive like he did tonight with his head on his shoulders and really switched on, he's got good guys around him like Andrew Shirley, as you would have seen in this video, to guide him and really make him think throughout the feature race. He lost a couple of spots and they told him, if you lose a couple of spots, it's okay, just keep your head on your shoulders and make it through the 30 laps. And he ended up second to probably Australia's best sprint car driver right now. So super fun night. I'm really glad we filmed with those guys. We never know how these videos are really going to go. We don't know if they're going to come across really well or not. And we thought, you know, it's a young kid, don't know how well he talks, don't know how well he drives or what the team dynamic is like. But obviously you would have seen with all our videos, everyone's different. And tonight was no exception with it being an awesome night. So a lot of fun. It always is here in Toowoomba. I wasn't sure that the feature race was going to be that good, but it really was. Yeah, just a fun night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.